Let's look at the wording in the Constitution for copyright and how it's turned into a game of authorship. The purpose of copyright is to promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right for their respective writings and discoveries. So the Copyright Office right away wants to tie this into how we advance society. This is so important for AI as well. What does AI do to give back? Where is its rules? Well, right now we're trying to see where that fits in. See, their position is that purely created AI works don't promote human progress in their view at this time. And there's a lot of other factors going in. Don't dismiss that the next update, which has to do with how we can actually put information, creativity into the chat GPTs of the world legally. What's the liability? And is there any compensation for creators? We skipped all this 5-7 years ago, long ago. So where does that play? And how could you give a copyright if you don't know that the liability and the content inside there, where does that fit in your scenario? So understand why they have to move slowly, even though they might want to. And they did note that many of these will be done on a case-by-case basis. See, all copyrights, whether AI or not, have the same durations. They're set out for different things. So if those copyrights are set in stone, you can't just put generative AI in there if you don't really know what you're dealing with and how it gets that information out. Now, the really hard part is in the US is the First Amendment, freedom of speech. I mean, look all over in the last few months. It's crazy the way freedom of speech is used, tooled, weaponized. And if AI has it, then we would have to put freedom of speech on there and it could say anything it wanted and we don't even understand what it's saying. Because then its rights would be protected by free speech. Wow, where will that all come out? But the key battleground is authorship. Always has been. Who is an author? Because from those early days, they realized who actually created and owns this. Where is the origin? So the Office of Copyright, where does it come from? Has to be human. No human, no copyright. Keeps it simple. And honestly, they're not really ready to create what's called a sui generis definition. And remember that. For the end here, we're going to go into how that might work, which is a customized view of how this fits in copyright, because you can't do that till you figure out the deal with the data going in, the creativity going in, and what the responsibilities are for the people who put it in without payment. It's also a focus on substantial human involvement. How much, and this is case by case, but how much was this person involved in creating this? Or how much was the AI involved? That's what makes it hard, because we don't even know how to really explain it, what comes out from what we put in. See, when the Constitution talked about respective writings and discoveries, right? It's like back in the day when they didn't have anything but writing. Photography was coming to really blow their minds very soon. But those writings, creativity, has to flow from humans. And AI outputs would only qualify if they show sufficient creative choice. And this is why I'm saying with the New York Times case, it just made sense to me. Because if they're able to pull their content out and prove it and win the case, that actually refutes a lot of this logic around prompting. Or whether the traditional elements of creativity in a work, literary, artistic, musical, are shown and were actually conceived and executed by the machine. See, here's the deal. Does the machine create it? No copyright. Does the human create it with assistance from the machine? Copyright. That's the basis of what this decision came from, in a tradition of really trying to figure out chicken or egg. Author, machine. This is an AI chicken or egg. Is it the author? Is it the machine? Is it the prompts? Is it the editing? We don't know. And the easiest thing to say is no, because right now you can't prove that what you put in creates exactly what comes out. And that's one of the rules that they're looking at when awarding copyright.